Thanksgiving, guys. Obviously, we got 3 games to go through as always. All NFC games. All should be very good. Well, that's lying, but let's get right into it. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the 2023 NFL John Madden Thanksgiving Thingamajig preview. We have, of course, 3 games to go through that are all on today. Of course, happy Thanksgiving, and obviously give thanks to, anything. Obviously, I'm thankful for the NFL. That's the biggest one. But yeah, I'll go through the pregame shows that are going on. NFL Game Day mornings, again, for what is called Turkey Day Special. Starts right now on NFL Network, so go over there to see Rich Eisen probably. And then obviously Fox NFL Thanksgiving, 10:30 a.m. Again, basically in 30 minutes, that's on Fox. Leads you all the way up to the game. They're gonna be, I think they're probably gonna be cooking a turducken, so I think that'll be pretty cool. The NFL today, again, later in the day after Fox's game. Again, you can watch that post-game show. Watch, I don't know, maybe if the Lions win, Jared Goff eat a turkey leg or something. But then the NFL today is right after that at 4 o'clock, and leading you up to the next game. And then obviously they have a post-game show, but Football in America caps it off at 8 o'clock on NBC. Again, there's probably round out or what is called coverage throughout the day on NFL Network as well. And I would like to say again, the Macy's Day Parade started I think an hour ago, somewhere around there on CBS. Again, that's what it's gonna probably bring you like noon, I think, somewhere around there. And then I obviously have some special stuff on for you guys. But yeah, it's actually a great day for football. It's a great day in general. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Let's get right into the first game. Packers and Lions. Let's go. So I know it's Thanksgiving, but this game means a lot to the playoff picture, especially for these Packers if they really want any chance at contending for a wild card spot. Yeah, it's some Thanksgiving Day football on Fox. Yup, this year, obviously, with Fox and CBS rotating the early window, we get a really good game, the Packers and Lions. Again, you can say, yeah, Packers aren't a very good team, but they are 4-6 coming to this game. Of course, off what is called basically back-to-back. They won 2 out of their last 3 games. Of course, they won last week against the Chargers, what is called 23-20. Of course, that bad pass by Justin Herbert. Jordan Love had his best game of the season last week, too. Then before that, they lost the Steelers in their last road game. Of course, they're going into Detroit, where the Lions are coming off a win in which they barely beat the Bears. Of course, a bad football team. 31-26. They came back from 2 scores down. Now they're 8-2. This is the best start that they have had for a season basically ever since, of course, 1962 through 10 games. 8-2 coming into this one. Yeah, no one. It's a pretty big treat to have the Lions actually being decent coming in on Thanksgiving. Getting them a win here would be great. They haven't won here since on Thanksgiving since 2016. I think that was a 16-13 overtime win over the Vikings. And obviously that was last year they made the playoffs too. And obviously this could be a huge turning point for the Lions as well. Again, the last time these two teams did play in against each other was actually earlier this year. Last 2 meetings have actually been in Lambeau, where the Lions have definitely got the upper hand on the Packers. But last time they played in Detroit was a Lions 15-9 victory over them, and it was a complete slugfest. But the Lions again were able to come on top in this one. Again, the game starts at 12:30, not 1 o'clock. So if you're thinking it's a typical time, no, it isn't, because it is special. So it is at 12:30. It's on Fox, Fox Sports, Fox Sports app, as well as NFL Plus, and basically any streaming service, guys. This is one of the biggest games of the year to watch. So yes, it's gonna be a lot of different stuff, but it will be on Fox. Pre and post game coverage as well. Definitely recommend watching this. Announcing it will be Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, and Aaron Andrews. Western one will be J.B. Shradick and Derek Rackley. Currently, I think the Packers have the 8th seed in the playoffs, and the Lions are what it's called. They're looking for that 1 seed again, only a game behind the Eagles right now. Keeping that all in mind, that's what I got for you guys. Let's get right into the Packers starting lineup. And for the Packers, Jordan Love, a quarterback. Aaron Jones will be out for this one. Of course, the Packers starting running back. A.J. Dillon is also questionable. Their backup, so who knows? Maybe Patrick Taylor, even James Robinson, who they just got off their practice squad, could be getting some good playing time in this one. Definitely A.J. Dillon, though, if he can play. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, receiver. Dontavian Wicks, and one of their big play receivers, is questionable. Tucker Kraft, Joshua DeGuara, their backup tight end, is doubtful, so Ben Sims will definitely get some time there. Luke Musgrave, again, their number 1 tight end, is on IR, as well as David Bakhtiari, who is out for the season. Luke Tenuta, their other right tackle. Darnell Savage and Eric Stokes in the secondary. Henry Pearson is at fullback. Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, John Runyon, Zach Tom across the offensive line. Kenny Clark, TJ Slane, and Devontae Wyatt across the defensive line with Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Kingsley Nagabor, and Lucas Van Ness off the edge. Devondre Campbell, their middle linebackers, questionable. Isaiah McDuffie already getting enough playing time. Will probably go in, as well as, again, Quay Walker being the other starter. Jerry Alexander, their number one corner, is questionable. You'll definitely see a lot of Carrington Valentine, even maybe Corey Valentine, of course, former Giant there. Ruby Ford, they're starting strong safety since the get-go, is questionable. Anthony Johnson Jr., I think he's a rookie. No, yeah, he's a rookie out of Iowa State. He could be getting the start, as well as Jonathan Owens, a free safety, and as well Keyshawn Nixon is their slot corner. Anders Carlson is their kicker. Their punter is Daniel Willman. Jaden Reed and Keyshawn Nixon are their returners, and Matthew Orzik is their long snapper. And for Detroit, Jared Goff, quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is healthy and is his backup. Hendon Hooker, Nate Suffolk, the other quarterbacks on the roster are both basically on IR. Zonovan Knight, the running backs on IR, as well as the tight end Shane Zylstra. Matt Nelson, the left tackles on IR, as well as Helvi Vaitai. James Houston, Senior Gardner Johnson, and Emmanuel Mosley on the defense are all on IR. David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs, their two feature running backs are both ready to go. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Jameson Williams, of course, the deep threat, first-round pick at receiver. Sam Laporta and Brock White are both at tight end. Jason Kabinda, the fullback, again, is also on IR, so they won't be featuring that position. Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson is out. Coyote Osikia, this guy's nasty. He'll start, as well as Frank Ragnow and Graham Glasgow, and as well as Penny Sewell rounding out that offensive line. Eden Hutchinson, John Kaminsky, Julian Okora, and Romeo Okora off that edge position, as well as Ali McNeil, Benito Jones, a defensive tackle. Jack Campbell, Alexander Deloney, Derek Barnes are the linebackers. Cameron Sutton, Brian Branch, and Jerry Jacobs at corner, with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch manning the safety positions. That's really cool. Brian Branch is not really a strong safety. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, Tracy Walker will help him out there. Riley Patterson is your kicker. Your punter is Jack Fox. Khalif Raymond and Craig Reynolds are your returners, with Jake Quaid doing the long snapping, with the actual long snapper, Scott Daly, being on IR. Yep, it is a John Madden Thanksgiving, and what I want to see from this Packers offense, first things first, Jordan Love's going to have to throw for over 250 yards, especially without Aaron Jones. He's going to have another big game. It's not going to be easy, though, because it's a hostile crowd. Obviously, if you know, he did struggle last time he was here back in 2021 in that meaningless game against Detroit, but we'll see how he plays this time. A.J. Dillon, over 100 rushing yards. That's something, honestly, that, again, even if he doesn't play, they need to have at least 100 team rushing yards as well. Play action, stuff like that won't be able to work if they can't run the football. Rashid Walker leveraging his outside shoulder to the inside to give A.J. Dillon the ability to cut easily. This basically means that Rashid Walker's trying to basically make it a lot easier on the running backs to be able to run between the tackles, but not have to extend runs outside and then cut back. And they can just cut back and right away if he's able to leverage these guys. And basically, I wouldn't say set an edge, but set an inside, basically, wedge instead of an edge, so that A.J. Dillon can just run right up the middle easily, get some yardage. It'll make it a lot easier for this team to run the football to that left side, where, of course, Jordan Love's good off play action. And meanwhile, for this defense, Rashawn Gary, 5+ pressures. Again, him being a dominant force is a big part of this defense. 15+ pressures as a team total. That's not going to be easy. But if you saw Jared Goff last week under pressure, you'd know that he is a bad quarterback there, at least so far this year. That's how you beat the Lions. Jair Alexander, 4+ passes defended. Even if he doesn't play, the corners are going to have to step up. So it's going to be either him or the corners combined. And Jonathan Owens under 1 to 2 missed tackles at most. He has to be very good at making plays because, again, at that free safety position, he cannot, again, nothing's behind him. He cannot make mistakes there. Now let's look at the Lions. And for the Lions, yeah, Taylor Decker, I want him to win 75% of his blocks, which obviously he's not going to have 100 blocks to get that percentage in exactly. But again, if he can just win his blocks basically 3 out of every 4 reps, that would be huge for them, especially again in the when it comes to when they throw the football. Obviously, Jameer Gibbs, 4+ targets, get him the football out of the backfield. If you saw him last week, he was lethal there. And Dave Montgomery, he's got to get the Lions' share of carries. Yeah, of course the Lions, but he is their best running back right now. Nothing against Jameer Gibbs, he's been awesome this year, but David Montgomery just looked on a different level last week. Get him the football, at least this week. Again, you guys still got to give the ball to Jameer Gibbs, but David Montgomery, the way he ran last week, there's no way you can't give him the football. Defensively, though, Aiden Hutchinson with a strip sack, that would be big. It's more the fact that, again, he's just getting the quarterback, making Jordan Love take a look before he throws it. Cameron Sutton in the secondary, sub 75 rating against. Overall, zone, man, where that doesn't really matter. You just got to be good there. And 3+ tackles from Alexander Zeloni on second and short. Again, doing a good job making plays there, making it hard for these guys to pick up first downs on those. Again, they will get in those situations. It's really just up to Alexander Deloney making plays on those. That's all I got for the Lions, guys. Let's get into our next game in the Commanders and Cowboys. I can't say this for Cowboys fans, but yeah, nothing's better than the Cowboys losing on Thanksgiving, especially against Commanders team that they should absolutely dominate. Here we go. Yeah, it's some Thanksgiving Day football on CBS. And yep, our second game of the triple header is the Commanders and Cowboys again. It will be at 4:30. So after that Lions game, probably about an hour break between them. We'll see again if the Lions game goes crazy. It could be different. But yep, the Commanders and Cowboys will be going at it. Again, it is their first matchup of the season. Commanders are coming off an embarrassing loss against their division rival Giants, which actually completed this season sweep against them. They have lost back-to-back games, both in which they have given up at least 25 points. I think something like that defensively. Obviously, their offense has been pretty exciting this year. They've of course hung in with the Eagles, another team the Cowboys have struggled against in the past. Pretty well this season, but obviously the Commanders are not having a great season. They are 4-7 overall. But pay attention to their quarterback. He could make some big plays or absolutely stink and turn over the football. Kind of a boomer bust type of guy there. Cowboys are obviously 7-3, and if you've watched in the past couple of weeks, yeah, they basically played bye weeks, so it's been very easy for them. But this Commanders team could punch them in the mouth, but that's kind of hard to see considering the fact they have, I think, won 12 straight home games, and they've all been in pretty dominating fashion overall. Obviously, some of them haven't been, but they have been very, very good at home as of recent. And this season, I think all 4 of their home wins have been just absolute blowouts. And in this game, obviously, the game will be at 4:30 again on CBS and Paramount Plus. Those are basically the 2 main ones, as well as NFL Plus again. Pregame starts at 4 o'clock as well, so if you want to tune in for that, be ready with that. And obviously, they will have a postgame show showing some interviews as well with this game. And again, what is it called? Tony Pollard, the running back for the Cowboys, could be getting in that Salvation Army bin. That would be kind of cool. But obviously, looking at the announcers for this one, as always, again, CBS has their #1 team. They're having a busy week. Again, not really used to this for them. But Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. Westwood 1 will be John Static and Mike Mayak. Again, you will see the studio people as well for this game. That's all I got for it. Let's get right into the Commanders starting lineup. And for the Commanders, Sam Howell is a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is his backup. Brian Robinson Jr. Antonio Gibson is also questionable, so you probably will see Chris Rodriguez Jr., the backup, at least at some point in this game. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Byron Pringle, all going to get action at receiver. Dax Millen, Braden Daniels, Shaq Charles, Ricky Stromberg, Shaq Tony, F.A. Obata, Curtis Brooks, David Bada, Dejon Harris, Derek Forrest, and Jeremy Reeves. A lot of guys on IR. That's basically how I'll put it. Logan Thomas and John Bates are their tight ends. Alex Armour is out for this game though. Charles Leno Jr., Chris Paul, what is called Tyler Larson, Sam Cosmi, Andrew Wiley across the offensive line. J. Smith Williams is out. KJ Henry, Andre Jones Jr. and Casey Tuho are all going to get some action off the edge, even though none of them really can get to the quarterback. And then obviously Jonathan Allen and what's called Deron Payne, the star defensive tackles, are there as well. As Khaliki Hudson, who is questionable, the linebacker Jabril Cox can picked off of waivers, could be getting the job there. Drew White is out at middle linebacker, so Cody Barr and Jamin Davis will get doing the job there. Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St. Juste, Emmanuel Forbes, what is called rookie corner, who's been disappointing this year, is out though. But you'll still, of course, see Cameron Curl, their franchise strong safety, and Percy Butler at free safety. Joey Sly is their kicker, their punter is Tress Way, Jamison Crowder, and maybe Byron Pringle again if Antonio Gibson, their running back, cannot go, because again he is questionable. And Cameron Cheeseman is also their long snapper. And for the Cowboys, of course, Dak quarterback, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle is questionable, Deuce Vaughn is his backup, what is it called? CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup are receiver, David Durden's on there, as well as tight end Peyton Hendershot on the offensive lineman, Josh Ball, and Matt Weisdico, something like that. Vladimir Foco Jr. Off the edge is also on IR, as well as the linebackers LVE, Leighton Vander Esch, and Marvin Overshown, CJ Goodwin, and Trayvon Diggs. The corners are basically both out for the season. I'll just put it like that. Jake, what is it called? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, tight end, CeeDee Lamb, yeah, I already said those guys. Hunter Lubicki is a fullback, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele across the offensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence, Sam Williams, Dante Fowler Jr., Dorrance Armstrong are their #1 and #2 edge rushers. Osa Odigizua and Jonathan Hankins are the defensive tackles, with Damone Clark, Marquise Bell, and Micah Parsons. Again, he's basically a bona fide pass rusher off the edge, with Stephon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, and Deron Bland at corner. Nation Wright will get some action as well. Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson could be starting again if Jalen Hurts cannot go. And if you know, Deron Bland is currently the #1 cornerback in football in terms of statistics and also just watching him play. He'll be a daisy to watch. I would not be surprised if he has another pick 6 in this game. Brandon Aubrey is your kicker. Your punter is Brian Anger. Your returner, if you know, is Kavonte Turpin. And Trent Sieg is also your long snapper. And what I want to see from the Washington today is Sam Howell, less than 2 turnovers. He's got to be able to give himself a chance. Again, if they I think they'll be able to have some success against this defense. But it's not going to be easy if he turns over the football. Brian Robinson, 20-plus rushing attempts. Get him the football. They're going to have to dominate possession at least at some point in this game. He's got to be part of that. And Terry McLaurin, 10-plus targets. Get open, bro. That's all I'll say about what is called him. He's a legit receiver. See what he can do. Defensively, though, Emmanuel Forbes getting an interception. Obviously, he is not going to play in this one. Probably going to have to be Kendall Fuller, their other corner. Again, this secondary has been extremely disappointing this year. But if they can at least make up for it with something, that would be big, be good. Casey Tuo, again, the edge rusher that I talked about, who's technically their #1 right now, setting a decent edge, allowing a bounce back lane. The reason they want to allow bounce back lanes is because if you didn't know, Tony Pollard's an extremely what is called stubborn runner. He does not like to bounce it back, and when he does, he usually gets tackled easily. And as well, Cameron Curl is getting 2+ tackles for loss off of those cutbacks that Casey Tuo, again, the edge rusher will be if he can force those. Cameron Curl, again, capitalizing on those will be huge for this defense to shut down that running game. Now let's talk about the Cowboys. And what I see from the boys offensively, Dak out over 110 yards off play action. You see what Trevor Lawrence did last week for the Jaguars. That would be very ideal for Dak in this game. Again, going up against a similar defensive structure, that will be able to dominate them. Obviously, 30+ points through 3 quarters. They put up 30. I don't think this Commanders offense will be able to keep up, considering the fact they're going to get the ball out quick. And Tony P, 100+ rushing yards. He's got to be a big part of this offense again. We met dominating possession per se, but again, him having some good runs will be big for them. Defensively, Micah with a scoop and score. Yeah, if he can force a fumble or something like that and get in the end zone, that would be huge for obviously make some big plays. And obviously, Deron Bland with a turkey pick 6. Again, only one of those probably will happen or could happen, but Deron Bland's just so good. Of course, the cornerback. And 10+ tackles from Damone Clark, the linebacker, who has been pretty good since he came in. Obviously, coverage has been a little bit of an issue, but he's still been able to make tackles. I want to see him have a breakout game in front of the whole country. See what he can do there. That's all got for the Cowboys, guys. Now let's get into the nightcap on, Thanksgiving night. Niners and Seahawks. Probably the best game of the day for sure. Yeah, it's somehow still a battle for first place in the NFC West. Yeah, this is some Thanksgiving nighter. Yep, it's the annual Sunday Night Football and Thanksgiving night game. Obviously, Football Night in America will be at 8 o'clock on NBC. It'll be Mike Tirico basically previewing the game for 20 minutes, leading you up to kickoff, and obviously this game should be a doozy. Last year, actually, these two teams did play on a Thursday night in Week 15, so a little under a year ago, where the Niners were able to knock off the Seahawks 21-13 with the same, very similar teams. The only difference was obviously the Seahawks did not have the same defense, for sure. So the Niners will be tested a lot more in this game, but also the Niners defense is a lot more stacked, to be completely honest. But they did lose their juice in Talunu Funga. He definitely keeps his defense going for sure. So I would not be surprised if this defense doesn't look as physical as they usually do. But they come in at 9-3, obviously, 7-3, obviously, winners of back-to-back games by at least 2 scores. They have been obviously a little bit of a roller coaster year for the Niners so far, but they're still a very, 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 very scary team. Seahawks scored coming off 6-4. Of course, they have this grueling stretch coming up after that blown 13-0 lead against the Rams. Got actually swept by the Rams on the season there as well. So they've got a lot of work to do here, but if they can somehow pull off the upset in this one, it'll be huge for them. Again, the game is at 8:20 on NBC and Universo, as always, on the NBC Sports app and NFL Plus. Again, Peacock's the main thing you're going to want to watch it on, guys. That's how I'll put it there. Announcing this game will be Mike Tirico, Chris Collins with Melissa Stark, so it actually will be the Sunday Night Crew. I think that's interesting. And as well as Westwood One, Ryan Rajic and James Lofton. Looking at the map, this is not right. That is right. It will be, yeah, let's say 9 o'clock. It's gonna be pretty cold there, chilly, like 39 degrees, getting closer to freezing, maybe by the end of the night. It'll be nice and humid though, so I don't think it'll be too bad. And there'll be a little bit of wind as well. So that's what I got for this game. Obviously, again, these two teams are again huge NFC West game. Winner of this game will be in first place in the division. So see how that thing goes. Let's get right into the Niners starting lineup. And for the Niners, Brock Purdy, of course, if you didn't know, Mr. Irrelevant is their quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell in the backfield. Debo Samuel, Braden Ayuk, and Jawan Jennings, a receiver. Danny Gray is on IR as well as Nick Zayiki, something like that. Drake Jackson, Robert Beal Jr., Samuel Womack the third, and Taluna Funga. Again, really tough injury. All the guys in IR for them. What is it called? George Kittle, Charlie Warner are the tight ends. Kyle Juszczyk is their fullback. Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, and Spencer Burford both starting. Guards are questionable, so John Feliciano, maybe Ben Barch will get the starts there if they can't go, as well as Jake Brendel at center and Cole Mavikavitz at right tackle. Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Randy Gregory, Cleveland Farrell, all those guys off the edge with Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave at defensive tackle. Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Oren Burks to the linebackers with Charvarius Ward, Isaiah Oliver, Avery Thomas, and Diamador Lenore at corner. Jason Gibson's team, then the rookie Jari Brown, who's again replacing Taluna Fungo, who is injured, will be looked at a lot in this game. Jake Moody is their kicker. Their punter is Mitch Wisnowski. Raymond McLeod is their third returner, and Tabor Pepper is their long snapper as well. And for Seattle, of course, the quarterback Geno Smith is questionable for this game with that elbow back thingamajig. Of course, if you didn't know, he got absolutely mauled by Aaron Donald, one of the best defensive players in football last week. So that must have hurt. Drew Lock will start if he can't go. Kenneth Walker III is doubtful for this game, which is not encouraging. Again, he had I think it was a groin injury, grade 2, so that's not good. Zach Charbonnet and DJ Dallas are the other running backs. Kenny McIntosh will be active for this game if Kenneth Walker, again, who is doubtful, probably won't play. DK Metcalf, Tara Lockett, JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigba are all their receivers. And don't forget about Jake Bobo. He does make plays. Derek Young, one of the backup receivers, is doubtful. Noah Fant and Will Desley at tight end. Colby Parkinson could sneak in there as well. Nick Bloor, the do-it-all fullback, is there, as well as Charles Cross, Damian Lewis, Evan Brown, Phil Haynes, and Jason Peters. Again, Abraham Lucas, Mike Morris, Latrell Bumpus, Joshua Anizio, Drake Thomas, Uchenna Nwosu, Kobe Bryant, Andrew Whitaker, all on IR on that defense, with Draymond Jones, Jerron Reed, and Leonard Williams getting newly acquired. Across the defense line, Boyo Mafe, Darrell Taylor, Frank Clark, and Derek Hall all off the edge, with Jordan Brooks and Bobby Wagner, the stalwarts at the defense, middle linebacker position. Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen on the outside with Trey Brown in the slot. Michael Jackson will get in there as well when they run dime packages against 6 DBs. Jarek Reed is out, as well as Julian Love. Again, he's a very good player. Jamal Adams is back and healthy, though, so look for him to make a big impact against this Niners offense, as well as Quandre Diggs roaming the deep half of that field. Jason Myers is your kicker. Your punter is Michael Dixon. Get Jason Myers had that toughness kick. See how he responds. Gigi Dallas, D.S. Gridge, your returner, and Chris Stoll is well your long snapper. And for San Fran, CMC, the running back, of course, their superstar, over 150 total yards. Again, him having a very productive day will make it a lot easier on this offense. George Kittle with an early touchdown like last year, again, setting the tone. Debo, 10-plus touches. Good things happen against the ball, especially in Seattle. And 8-plus completions per quarter from Brock Purdy. Again, him getting the ball out quick. And again, rhythm per quarter, consistency is what this offense is going to be able to, if they can get that done, very hard for the Seahawks to be able to move the football on their own side. Meanwhile, for this defense, make Geno step up to throw over the deep middle. That's something that, again, he really hasn't been able to do all year. He's been good outside the numbers, obviously, and again, over the intermediate and underneath middle, but that deep middle is something he's got to work on for sure. And if you make him throw there, you could really come up with some big plays. Jahari Brown stepping up with 3-plus tackles in the second quarter. The reason I said the second quarter is because that's actually where this defense has not played super well this year. Him being able to really shut some guys down and really showing, again, he is here to stay would be very good for him. And Nick Bosa getting 3-plus wins on the outside of the tackle on third down. What I mean by that is basically using his bend, which is absolutely phenomenal, to get around the tackle and make it hard for Geno to basically step up because, again, of the pressure that he will always be getting from the interior. And that is all I got for that Niners defense, guys. Now let's talk about the Seahawks to wrap this thing up. And for Seattle, Zach Charbonnet, the running back, 4-plus broken tackles. He's got to be able to get out of the backfield. This offensive line won't be able to block for him every single play. DK Metcalf, 5-plus catches over 15 yards. Big plays are big for him. And Abraham Lucas, again, who is still on IR for whatever reason. We'll be seeing Jason Peters, the old guy. He's going to have to win a lot of reps against Nick Bosa. That means he's going to have to win 80% of the snaps, which is not going to be easy for him because, again, he's the oldest active player in the league. I think he's 42, maybe 41, but that would be crazy if he could, but who knows. For this defense, DJ Jones with multiple attempts of using his speed to power on third down. Yeah, what I mean by that is using speed to gain traction on the, offensive guard, the lineman, and using power like bull rush, like running right into him to penetrate to the quarterback and make it hard on Brock Purdy to make quick decisions. And as well, Trey Brown, again, basically these guys are all the corners, all allowing 3 or fewer completions on their own. So if they allow 9 total completions as a group, that would be good. But if one guy gets torched, that's not good. So collective, very good defensive performance would be big. And no big plays allowed on third down. If they're not good on third down, they're going to lose this football game. It's simple as that. At least defensively, they got to really step it up there. Obviously, they've had their struggles all year on third down, but specifically this defense, they can't be good. They will get crushed. That is all I got for the Seahawks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the 2023 NFL John Madden Thanksgiving preview. Hope you guys enjoy all the games. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you for that recap tomorrow. And as well, we had some Black Friday football tomorrow too, so I will preview that as well. So again, if you want to know what's going on for that game, stay tuned for that. Again, the recap of these 3 games will be coming on tomorrow as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you tomorrow.
On that release, got a lot of room to cover, and he gets hit hard on the perimeter by Jalen Ramsey. I believe there was a little extra in that Ramsey tackle.
Not only tackle, but you defeated the block of Dion Lewis. And then, look at this. I mean, you want to talk about same foot, same shoulder, drive through the player. That's heads-up tackling. That's what you teach your kids.
One big thing, it felt like, for Joe Judge. Things getting a little chippy.